Hello everyone, my name is Ablat Nur. I am from East Turkistan, province of Kashgar, city of Maralbeshi, district of Chunkurchak, 20th town and second village. I testify against China by telling you what has been happening to me by the Chinese government. In 1997, I had to leave my country, East Turkestan, because of Chinese oppression. The Chinese government did not leave me alone and kept following and threatening me, even though I had no choice but to leave my country. I was blackmailed by the Chinese government 3 times. First blackmail in the year of 2000. The Chinese intelligence service called me on my phone while I was residing in Turkey. They threatened me to work for them, and if I refused to do so, they were going to put my whole family and relatives in jail. I refused to work for them, so they put my family and relatives in detention camp, including my father, Nur Qasim. This is my father, Nur Qasim. And my brother, Mehmet Ibn Nur, Musa Nur, and Yasin Nur. My sister, Aygul Nur. My wife, Aisha Dawood. My daughters, Farida Nur and Amina Nur, who were only 7 years old and 5 years old, as well as my son, Alimjan, who was only 4 years old. They kept threatening me to come back to my country, or else my family was going to come to a bad end. So I visited the UN office in Ankara and told them my situation. After 6 months, I was given a refugee status and my family was released. Back then, my family stayed in a detention camp with around 400 people. So these camps had already started at that time. Second blackmail. I immigrated to Canada as a refugee in 2001, and so did my wife in 2005. The Chinese intelligence service called me again around this time and threatened both of us to work for them. We refused to do so and were told that our kids were going to end up really bad. We again refused to work for them. In the year of 2006, the Chinese government attempted to murder my 3 children. My 2 kids, Amina, my daughter Amina, was 11 years old, and my son Alimjan was 10 years old. Both of them fell martyr. And my older daughter Farida Nur, she was 13 years old, ended up injured. My kids were thrown by the Chinese intelligence service into a ditch that is used to extract gold from my country. The villagers who saw this rushed to help them, but two of my children had already passed away. China breached the UN Human Rights Convention on the Right of the Child by killing my children. Third blackmail. At the end of 2017, the Chinese intelligence service called me and threatened me again with the lives of my family again, and tried to force me to work for them. I refused to do so. They took my father Nur Qasim and my brother Mehmet Imun Nur as hostages, and once again called me to work for them. I refused again. They forced my brother to ask me to work for them by showing me a photo of my father in the detention camp. This is my father. This is my father. He is in detention camp. This is the same guy. This is my beloved father. I love him. I refused again, and I was told that I can call them back on the number which they phoned me if I decided to accept their offer. Since then, I cannot reach my family and relatives. I don't know if they are alive or not. My stats in Canada. When my two children were killed by Chinese government back in 2006, I was already a Canadian citizen. And still, I am still one in 2017 when my family was put into a detention camp. The Chinese government has been blackmailing a Canadian citizen using their family who live back in East Turkistan as a bait. Therefore, the Chinese government is committing a crime against Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom by threatening a Canadian citizen to work for them as a spy, because it violates the Mobility Rights section and the Legal Rights section. According to the UN International Bill of Human Rights, China is also committing a crime against many other countries, since they are also threatening other citizens of the world. For example, I have friends in other countries, such as United States of America, Europe, Turkey, and Central Asia, who also experience similar problems. To the world and children of Adam, Prophet Adam. O mankind, please do something about this and protect us. We are all brothers and sisters. The Chinese government is violating our human rights, our democracy, and our freedom, therefore taking our right to live. They are giving us ultimatums, promising us death if we don't give up our culture. To the Turkish nation, look after your brothers and sisters from the same race and religion. We are human beings just like you. We are Muslims just like you. We are Turks just like you. And we are made of flesh and bones just like you. When we are tortured and beaten up, we suffer. When our kids and family are killed by criminal China, we suffer. We also love our kids, and they are vulnerable to us. And we also have feelings. We also want to live as a family in our home country humanly. We might be quiet because of all the agony and trauma we have seen from China. Our tears dried up, and we don't have any more strength remaining. Don't run away from us, but come closer. Listen to us, pouring out our troubles, even though we have no strength to tell you. All we want is to be heard by conscientious and fair institutions. After all, we want our family and relatives to be released. Do you know why we are under so much oppression? It's because we are the real owners of the East Turkistan, and they want to take over our land completely. By eliminating us, that's why they attack us, kill us, put us in detention camps, sell our organs away. And to get rid of all the evidence, they burn and throw ashes of the bodies into the sewage system. By doing all this, they get revenge on landlords without being caught. Since we are the real owners of East Turkestan, they are trying to get rid of our Turkish identity by forbidding our language and forcing us to use their own language. They attack our religion. They attack our religion, Islam, and forbid every religious practice. They restrict everything, including Islam and Turkish identity. And if we do not obey, they execute us and kill us. What's even worse is that China is helping those Muslim and neighboring countries by giving them loans, making them blind by all the money, which convinces the leaders of the Muslim countries to act like nothing is wrong. To the world of Islam, we are all Muslims, so protect us. We are the nations of Ibrahim alayhi salam and the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salam. This situation of East Turkestan may be left alone in this world, but will not be so in afterlife, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will call us on account on the day of judgment. We are afraid that if you don't help us now, you will be accused of betrayal on the final accounting on the day of judgment. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.